This pin here. Oh gosh. Should we start? This thing just looks big. I think I'm gonna do this. Like look a bit.
You wouldn't want to do like a already. You presence to what you do like that. I told them. I think the fact that for me personally,
When did they won against?
But it's good that India loses. Can we start, sir?
And welcome to yet another episode of World Cup Mania right here on News X. My name is Naledi Apani, and of course, I will be your host throughout this entire tournament. It is the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023. I never do this all by myself, but let me just tell you, there is a very big game that is currently ongoing right now. It is India up against England. So far, it is looking good for England. However, we'll see how that turns out because they are seeking their second win of the World Cup as world champions, as defending champions. They've been struggling to get the points on the table, but however, Tandy is here. We're going to be talking about that match currently underway right now. But first of all, we have to take you through what has happened for them throughout this entire tournament. Tandy, thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you, Naledi?
I am good. If you are good,
Yeah.
I just spoke about the match that will be, going on. The match that is currently underway right now.
Yeah.
It is England. They look amazing.
Yeah.
they are doing the work on the field today for the very first time in this tournament so far. The first match that they won, it was against Bangladesh. They chose to bat first in that match. Coming into this match, I thought if you saw what works for you, which is betting, then if you win the toss, wouldn't you want to do the very same thing that has worked for you previously? It looks like that was not the case for them.
Yeah,
They chose to do the opposite of what worked for them the last time. What do you think, though, winning the toss and choosing to do the opposite of what worked for you the last time?
Well, I feel like they've that sense of that they're already at the bottom. They have nothing to lose, so they want to go out with that bang. If it means them winning the game, it's a big win for them. But at this end, it won't really help. But if what I've noticed with this pitch, in terms of at the Kana Stadium, is that it's well known for to be a bowling track, mostly for the spin, and because it's made out of the red soil, it's a mixture of the red soil and the black soil, which makes it more compact for the spinners. So now I'm surprised that they're actually removing the best players, really, with just pace bowling, which is good. And what I've noticed as well is that India is used to chasing them, chasing the scores most of the times. But right now, they've been put in the stage. Right now, everyone is putting pressure at the fans, everyone. So I feel like them betting first and also pressure from everyone, the media, it's really creeping them on. And I'm sure you've seen right now what happened to Kohli. For the first time, he literally came out with a zero. That's like, wow, the legend.
Unexpected.
Exactly. And I don't know what to say. Maybe you could share with us what you think with the first two guys who just jumped out for the first time in the first power play.
Yeah, first of all, I like what you said when you say that obviously the pitch of the game, we're going to be talking about the pitch in just a moment. But also remember that when the two teams met in the last World Cup, in the 2019 edition of the World Cup, England actually beat India. So
Yeah.
in this match, there is a point to be proven by England, and we've seen them doing that. And of course, in the last match, I told you that they lost that one. So
Yeah.
they're coming into this match looking to just redeem themselves and at least get their names on the scoreboard
Yeah.
because they are already out of the World Cup as it is.
Yes.
If they
True.
don't win this one, it's over. There is no redemption for them.
Yes.
But I want us to talk about, you asked me about the two players that are already out.
Yeah.
You're looking at a Virat Kohli who's on the form of his life,
Yes.
scoring back-to-back centuries, just making sure that he gets his name on the
Yeah.
scoreboard. He comes out second in
Yeah.
the first power play of this
Imagine.
match against England, a team that is struggling, a team that only won once in this World Cup so far. So it goes to show that this is very personal between the two teams.
Yeah.
And if we are to look back at the stats, England do have the upper hand
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
ODI matches that they've played, total of 8. India winning 3 of those, and England winning 4. If they win today, making it 5.
Yeah.
So we can't really write off stats in this match.
No,
That's
we
how I
can't.
see this match coming.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll see how it goes along. But if you've got a Virat Kohli out, you've got a Jill Shipman out, you just need to sort out Rohit Sharma. You need to sort out Mohammad Shami as well, and then you're done with the team.
Well, so what do you suggest? Like, who's their main person who can anchor the game right now? Because seems like it's a rocky ship. What's going on right now?
It is a very rocky ship. The main man or the main men that they will be looking at,
Uh-huh.
I would say they're looking at Mohamed Chami. He did incredibly well. Just getting the very first starting 11, starting lineup,
Yeah.
getting his very first in this World Cup the last time, getting 5 wickets. That was a very great start for him. You also still have Rohit Sharma, who's
Yes.
on the form of his life, second top scorer in that Indian team. So if you still have those two, I think it's not all lost for them. They
Yeah.
can still do something to make sure that they at least get something out of this match. And however, I do have a question for you though. You mentioned Virat Kohli being out. That is their main man.
Yeah.
You know that he just knows how to get the runs for the team. He knows how to win the matches for the team. Without him, is it all lost? Okay, what can we expect from the team?
Well, personally, I would just right now I'm speechless because right now those were my top 3 guys. I was like, okay, I'm going to read for India because of those top 3 guys,
Yeah.
excluding the bowlers because I knew the betting lineup were covered. So even if they said they were supposed to bet first, it wasn't going to be a problem. But now with these 2 guys out, it's not like okay, we need to depend right now on the middle order guys and the tail enders. That shows that the team is not made out of one person or 2
It's
people.
not,
It's
yeah.
a collective stats. Like right now, as we know in the stadium, their lowest score right now it's 117
Yeah.
years by Australia. So I don't think that's the way the team would want to go to be lower than that. But I'm sure right now in the middle order, there are still people we can always depend on. Yes, we're crying about the top 3 players who are currently struggling right now. But I'm sure in the bowling side, we are going to attack more than just defending. So now it's all about them shifting their mind from that pressure from the terraces right now
Yeah.
as a team, as a whole. Like the seniors might encourage the juniors that, okay, I'm out. You need to go there and shine on our behalf because
Yeah.
we win as a squad. So, like, if you shift your mind from what's happening in the terraces, the mistakes, what the top guys did, the seniors, you know that you're covered and you need to look at that ball because it can be tricky. It's like what I said, the pitch is tricky. It's mostly for
Yeah.
spinners. The moment it bounces, can turn to any direction. So you need to be aware of what's going to happen and not try out new things because technically it would be a tricky one. So that's what I would think or what they would do, like the suggestion.
And I love that you brought that up, about the stadium. We see that it is currently the batters haven. They seem to be doing extremely well. Sorry, the bowlers haven.
Yeah,
They seem to
yeah.
be doing extremely well. You spoke also about the lowest score at
Yeah.
Ekana Stadium being that one of Australia by 117, and the highest being obviously set by South Africa.
Okay.
Will we be seeing a new record this time around today?
Well, with the way it's happening, it's a matter on we might see the highest score, but it's a matter of by who. Because right now it's a win, it's a 50-50 situation. Because as much as we say England is at the bottom right now, right? But the previous games they were at the top. So that means if that mojo or the vibe comes back again, that means they can even take this game as well. Because right now, India is in number 2 currently without
Yeah.
any losses. So this will be their first loss entire.
I think we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves. Let's just say if they do lose this match,
Uh-huh.
it will be a great wake up call for them, because if they get to lose in the semis, then it is all over for them. Going back to 2011 when they hosted the World Cup, they won it. We are seeing them being that very same beast again in the 2023 edition of this World Cup. If they do win today, I think they might be on a very good way to history, of just winning another one on home soil.
Yes,
What do you
that's
make of
true.
that?
Well, that's a good feeling. Yeah, like what you had said, you have a good point there that they would have broken the record of it, the first team, not per se record,
Yeah.
but they would have won all the matches since day one, really, up to the end. But I'm sure other teams will give an excuse of the climate change, as we have heard the stories right now that one of the players is complaining about the
Yeah,
conditions
yeah.
in China, and I heard that it's hot. But I feel that can't be an excuse per se, because in the sense that you come here way out in advance, like a month or so, you have time to adapt. You have those practice games. So why complain at the beginning right now?
Yeah,
So they've
yeah,
like essay they lost their first game. That made them wake up. It will be their wake up call. It's better to lose right now in the group stages than to lose in the last minute in the finals. So it can go either way. At least these guys, they would have a little bit of encouragement, even if they win or they lose, because they've nothing to lose really. They're out, but they just want to finish strong, which is should be an encouragement to everyone that
yeah.
no matter where you are, you just need to work hard. Even if you're a tail ender, you're the last person and they need 6 runs from you. Surely you know what you're supposed to do. Just hit those sixes like what previous games people have been doing in the
Yeah.
final matches. So it's more of like anyone's game right now. It's the first power play. So anything can twist around in the second or third power play. So there's more room to change what's going to be happen. Right now they're just predictions, but anything can happen.
I love that you spoke about a certain player complaining about the conditions of
Mhm.
how hot India is. I think you've seen that firsthand, that I also struggled with, adapting
Yes.
to the heat, to the humidity of the place.
Mhm.
However, Jay Root being one of the players who complained on
Yes.
behalf of England
Oh
after the
yes.
loss against South Africa. A lot of people would say that, but some of these players in that England squad do play in the IPL. You are in India all the time.
Mhm.
Why is it that you start complaining about the conditions when you've just lost a match? Is this an excuse? Is it when you've lost something that you
Yeah.
like, maybe sort of like wanted, and you don't
Mhm.
want to accept the reality of it, you just start to make excuses? Do you think it was one of those? Because there are players in that English squad who play in the IPL. So you
Yes.
spend most of your time in India. Surely by
Mhm.
now you know the conditions. You've adjusted to the conditions. You know every single thing about the humidity.
Mhm. Well, like thank you for reminding me who the player was.
Yeah.
What I've noticed mostly with the players, based on the past experience which I had for a short time with my team in Zimbabwe, PAC, is that people always find an excuse why they didn't perform well. So it's more of like they can't really blame themselves, but they need something to blame on. For example, you can't really blame on the conditions. You can't change those. So they would rather attack something which they can't change, so that it will look like it's a natural thing.
Yeah.
But they know, okay, I haven't done well and they're ashamed. and they were expecting more, especially if you have told someone, okay, come, I'm playing today, like for example, for the junior league. Today I'm playing, I'm in the top 11 or whatever, the first 11. Come watch me. Then you come out with the first ball. How would you feel? That pride, the
Ooh.
ego, it's
But
definitely going to be sucked out. So you literally be like, no, there was a crack there. Just those nitty gritties.
even the smallest of things.
Exactly.
But
Oh,
I think like the players should know you can't win every matches. You can't win all the matches. However,
but they've been losing.
I mean,
Almost all of them, besides that one game.
They won against Bangladesh. They've been
Yeah.
losing, but also remember they are the defending champions of this tournament. So for
Mhm.
them to come into this tournament as defending champions and to perform as horribly as they've been, I think I would also just come up with an excuse. I know
Yeah.
something was definitely not right there,
Mhm.
and the heat is too hot. Although you know that you like
Yeah,
play in
true,
IPL
true.
every season, so I don't think that it was sort of like a smart thing to do, because if you were not adjusting to the weather conditions, that's the first thing you should have mentioned when you got to
Yeah,
India
true,
before
true.
the World Cup started.
Yeah.
Now you're bringing it towards like midway, so it does sound like an excuse.
Yeah, like what you had said, they are the defending champions. That means
Mm.
that pain, the pride that they had um, when they came in, they were like, okay, this is our home ground. Okay,
Yeah.
this is our thing. We got it last time. So it's going to be a walk in the park. Now, there's small other teams like Netherlands, Afghanistan, they're now winning. They've
Yeah.
got more points than them. It's that pain of being at the bottom. It's like being a sour loser, if I can say. Because I'm sure you've seen other games like when the players come out of the crease hitting everywhere and literally that pain, I think it will make them do silly stuff. So
True.
if it means them complaining about the weather or if the
If it-
umpire was cheating or something like that, it's not like it's really true because I'm sure other people would have felt the same problem. But hey, who are we? We were struggling this side, so
No, but for me, it really did sound like an excuse, because
yeah,
you are the defending champions. You've got no excuse but to perform to the
yeah,
ultimate best.
yeah.
Now, let's talk about, we've spoken about the pitch and obviously the conditions.
Mhm.
If it does rain today, of which it's not going to rain, but
Yeah.
if like it were to rain, would this affect anyone, the bowlers, the batters? Who would have been affected the most if that was the case?
I feel the most people will be affected. It will be the batters, because in the sense that that moisture in the atmosphere to increase the humidity, right? So
Yeah.
that moisture will disturb the crease in the sense that the ball will be now much slower. The fact that the ball will hit the ground, the time it comes up to the batsman, it will be a little bit slower. So the batsman might think it's going to be a fast ball, but
Yeah.
the moment it hits the ground, it changes the variation. And in their head, if they don't notice that, they might miss it or just sneak it, then they get caught. So I feel it would be still favoring mostly the bowlers in the sense that they have now a wider variation of the bowling attacks or styles, either for bowlers, spinners,
Yeah.
or the seamers. But I feel like it would be mostly for the spinners' paradise even more, in the sense that they are the ones who have more styles compared to the seamers, who are like the fast pacers. And then also the outfield, it will be now slower.
Yeah.
Because as much as you'd want to hit your fours, the quick ones, they'll be kind of slowed down because of that moisture in the ground. The grass would have absorbed most of the
Oh, yes.
moisture.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel it would be a proper struggle to bet in that crease, but it
It'll be a
depends.
nightmare.
Yeah. So now it all depends with the strength of the batsman. If they have the arm strength, then that means they can be hitting more of the the sixes, which is a
Yeah.
struggle based on the few times I tried playing the game. It's not easy being out there because I definitely understand because the pressure as well, like I had said previously, from everyone, your expectations, you know that, okay, I'm in here to play as a batsman. You have literally one life. Compared to the bowlers, you have like 6 lives because you
Yeah.
have 6 chances per over. So it's like if you make one mistake with the bat, then that's it. You're gone. So now you just have to focus on the blocking, at least covering your wickets so that you don't come out easily, and until maybe the sun comes and tries to dry up the area. That's when you realize when it's kind of cloudy, the first innings are usually a struggle to score
Yeah,
lots of
yeah.
runs. Then when the second innings after that changeover, that's when it's easier because the ground will be now much drier. You can easily hit the ball easier, and it's easier to chase. So I'm sure that's what India has been using under is their trick, that chasing it's easier after the second innings because the ground will be now on their side. The ball will be much quicker. So you just need to put the bat there and you're good to go.
Yeah, and obviously now the conditions at the stadium, it's very hot. It
Yeah.
was said to be between 18 and 31 degrees.
Mhm.
So obviously that is a very hot condition.
Very. I'm sure I would make that excuse as well.
So then who is it favoring this one?
This one, um, right now I feel it's both. It's mostly favoring both the bowlers and the batters
Yeah,
because you need to know. Okay, right now in the first innings, it's literally 50-50. It's in the morning. In the night, it was cold, so that dew is literally coming out
still
right
there.
now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the hottest during the second innings, which will be definitely a betting paradise. And also the spinners, I mean the pacers paradise, because they can hit the deck and it will come out hard. So it's either right now it's going to be mostly a struggle for both sides because that's why you're seeing right now they're coming out bits and pieces because it's mostly the pacers that are putting more pressure on the
Yeah.
balls and hitting directly because both of them, okay, besides Kohli, came out with a quad, but most of them they're coming out as bold. So that means if you're a bowler, you need to be accurate when you're bowling. You know where which targets and what kind
Yeah.
of lengths you need to bowl towards that person, and then find their weaknesses. Because if you know this person likes short balls, you wouldn't want to be bowling those ones, the ones which are closer or further away. So now it's a matter of a psychological thing in the first innings. Yeah, that okay, what kind of style am I going to come in here with? That's why we need mostly the game plans before the actual game. Would be like, okay, if we're betting first, which strategy are we going to use? If
Yeah.
we're betting second or we're attacking with the bowling, what are we going to use? So right now, I'm sure there's something in their pockets as the former champions. Yeah, that's what I would say. And what would you say or encourage what the viewers are feeling right now? I'm sure you had the similar feeling when SA was playing their last game, and I'm sure that's what most people are feeling right now.
Which ones? The English fans
Oh,
or
the English fans, they're happy.
I mean it's not
They are
it's not
on the edge, literally, I know, but I'm saying, what would you like if you're the coach right now? How would you advise your players right now, the upcoming players?
luckily I'm not a coach.
Okay, would
so
pretend you are one.
okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't know how, but what I know is that your mindset has to be in the game. This is a game of a very big magnitude. You know what is at stake.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, like we said, that it is already
Yeah.
decided or done for England,
Mhm.
right? Because they're sitting at number 9. So if even if they do win this one, it
Mhm.
will take them an absolute miracle to just go all
Yeah.
the way and just fight for that top 4 spot
Mhm.
into the semi. So I think it's going to be a very difficult one for them. What would I say? I mean, just take it as it comes, one day at a time. You asked from a South African point of view.
Yeah.
I think we're also doing the very same thing. You're taking it one game at a time. Just because
Mhm.
you're at the top doesn't mean everything is all sealed and done and delivered. So
Mhm.
we'll see how it goes. Now, something that I want us to touch on before I forget you, like we've given all the perspectives when it comes to, the stadium,
Mhm.
Akana Stadium.
Mhm.
Another factor that we have to talk about is the fact that India have
Mhm.
played in that stadium
Mhm.
and they've lost by 31 runs to the Proteas.
Mhm.
England, on the other hand, today is their
Mhm.
very first match
Mhm.
at the stadium, and they
Mhm.
seem to be having the upper hand as far as things are concerned. Is it a deja vu moment for India? You've lost a match here to the Proteas. If they lose this one again, now they will
Mhm.
have a reputation at the stadium.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not going to be such a very good one.
um. Well, I definitely that's a good one right there. I hadn't thought
Yeah.
of it, but what I've noticed based on the states of the stadium right now is that those who bet second,
Yeah.
based on the states, like they
Mm.
have a 50 chance of having what you call this, actually winning the game. Those who bet second, compared to those who played first, because there are about 3 games so far out of 7 which have been played. We
Yeah.
have won first by betting first by just 37%, which is not much compared to the 50%, which is just 4 games. They've been won by betting second,
Yeah.
which is a good strategy right there. And I'm sure, like what you said, it's the deja vu as well. And and it's not like they're going to lose, but I'm just saying also the pressure. I just feel like it's the pressure. It's a mental thing. They've got this game right now, but it's the mental stuff. Because if you're not mentally strong, definitely you're going to fail. As much as you play good there, but if your mind is not in the game, it's not good. Because yeah, even the stats say even after winning the toss or losing the toss, you have a chance. There are so many games, like 5 games have been won after losing the toss. So it can't be really an excuse
Yeah.
for them not to lose this game right now. And for example, England, they don't know what's coming. So they're just using their strategies because they're just experimenting with the pitch, they're seeing what works and what not. But in terms of India, knows what to expect and how to play, which side, the leg side or the offside, they can score most of the runs. So they've the upper hand, which gives them a more advantage compared to England, who are just blind and they're in there and they know what they're supposed to do. So really, it won't be an excuse, but I feel they should take that as an advantage, more like an encouragement that I've been here before and I had a nightmare here with the SA team. So this is the time to redeem myself, because what if they happen to play another game here?
Yeah.
What excuse would they use this time?
You mentioned something so important, that it is a mental thing.
Yeah.
If it is a mental thing, would you then say, with how India is playing so far, let me just pull up the stats of how the game is going so far. It is a 45 for 3,
Yeah.
35 for 3 in the
Uh-huh.
second power play. So not a very great start for India as it
Yeah.
is. You said something about it being a psychological thing. So it is for them in this case. I, if I were to sum it up, I would say that India maybe were overthinking this one, or either they underestimated England. Because as things stand, I don't
Mhm.
think that is a very good score so far. 49 for 3 in the second power
Mhm.
play. So would you say that the England players actually got into their head, into the Indians' heads, and just try to sort of like spin things around and just play mind games coming into this match?
Well, they're bringing that nice twist. It's that chili in the spices there,
Yeah.
in this gravy. Well, I feel they underestimated the team. They underestimated England in the sense that they thought, okay, they're at the bottom. Everyone has been just beating them easy, easy, easy. And then as for England, they are saying we have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
We're going to just give it our all best. Because right now it's just Chris Walker's. He has 2 wickets right now
Yeah.
from the first betting order of India, which should feel good. Be like, okay, we've achieved something.
Yeah.
Because they know, okay, even if they go out, they would have attacked or given that check to the best team so far in the group. Um, they have that motivation. It's like they have that hunger. England has that hunger to win this game or to put it out there and perform their out best. If it was their way, I'm sure they would rather finish the game within maybe less than 50 overs, really.
Wouldn't
But
that be history against a team
that
that
would be
is
the
still
history.
unbeaten so far? Yeah.
Exactly. But the fact that England has won more games compared to India in the past, it's like it's nothing new for them. India would be an achievement to win against England. It would have been now equal. But it shows that this is no one's game. As much as everyone is feeling sorry for England that they're at the bottom, but they've won about almost 2 times right now, if I'm not mistaken. It shows that they came here with that off mentality. They're not only waking up right now because they've been beaten so much. So this is the only time they can just redeem themselves and be like, okay, we need to pull up their socks. But now it's too late. We are busy encouraging them that they have so many games that they have to play now. But now this is like the 6th or 7th game, and
Yeah.
they're running out of the matches to redeem themselves. So it's now like they're waking up late. So for India, this would be like a wake up call. Be like, okay, we can't win all matches.
Yeah.
We win some and we lose some. So meaning that in the next match or right now in the second power play, they need to pull up their socks and know, okay, this we need to wake up right now, because if we lose here, we have broken the records, and would have been at the top, I'm sure, in the Guinness record. But at least if they're motivated to score at least the average of 215, that's the mostly average of the runs by a team at that stadium,
Kind of stadium.
at the
Yeah.
Kana Stadium. So at least if they get over 200 or 275, I'm sure prediction, they can defend that score. Because if it's too low, they need to be so much pressure for Jasper Bruma to remove all those people early. Because what I've noticed with the England team is their first power play, they make sure they maximize compared
Yeah.
to other teams where they need to settle down, adapt, and then start hitting the balls in the second power play. But these guys, they are willing to hit that ball in the first power play. And if your first power play is good, even if they come out, the other guys, the middle order and the tail enders, they're able to keep up or add up most of the scores. As you have seen in the previous games, the partnership now, if it keeps on rotating, now you're trusting each other. Will be like, okay, I give you a 10, I follow. You build up a bigger score compared to these guys.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like right now they're failing to build up the partnership. They're all relying on the captain, and that's really a pressure and the tall order. And the fact that they're expecting a lot from him, that's the other thing. So he has so much the runs to keep up with, and then holding up the whole team, because he knows that the moment he goes, then it's a struggle.
Let me tell you what Google just did right now.
Uh-huh.
Google, I'm checking the win probability, right,
Yeah.
of that game between India and England.
Uh-huh.
In the morning, it gave India sort of like 90 something percent win probability.
Mhm.
Right now, it has gone down to 44% for India. But of course, that we know it is bound to change. You mentioned something that is so important, earlier
Mhm.
on, that the Indian team is relying on the captain,
Yeah.
that is Rohit Sharma. You're also relying on a Virat Kohli. So
Mhm.
on days like today,
Mhm.
where a guy that would usually get you a 300 and something runs, or let me just say, in the last match,
Yeah.
Virat Kohli actually got 95 runs.
Wow.
So that
Yeah.
was an impressive one against New
Mhm.
Zealand. So now
Mhm.
you come into this match, you just take him out at the earliest time possible.
Yeah.
Who then would you say would you then say that the coach has to rotate the squad? Because this is this very same squad that played against New Zealand and eventually won that game against New Zealand. They're coming again on form
Mhm.
as they were, as
Yeah.
great as they played against New Zealand. They're coming into this one, same players, same everything, and they're coming into this one. It seems to be sinking, like a
Yeah.
sinking ship. Would you say then this is when the coaches should now look into rotating and bringing in new players whom haven't gotten a chance to play for the again, I'll make this example
Yeah.
again, about Mohammed, who did
Mhm.
incredibly well in the last match against New Zealand, getting
Mhm.
5 wickets. Then when do you suggest would be the right time to bring about the same or the new people, because you need to rotate the squad? What if
Yeah.
a Virat Kohli now gets an injury, or a Rohit Sharma? Who
Mhm.
would you then bring in? How do you make sure that there is a rotation within the squad?
Whoa, yeah, that one is a good one. That's
Mm.
a good analysis right there.
Yeah.
Well, basically, like what you have said, the point you've pointed out, which is a good thing of player rotation. That's
Yeah.
the other point I was actually thinking. That I think the other reason why these guys might be underperforming is because of that fatigue. Because it's now creeping in right now. They haven't been rotating much. I'm sure it's one of the teams which have been keeping consistently their teams, which is good because that means they're getting more experience. But
Yeah.
how about the other ones who have been sitting out there? I feel that this could have been the game where they've rotated, in the sense that yes, they might have more time where they can break before the finals, or semi-finals.
But if
Definitely,
they
we
do make it
know
there,
they
I'm
definitely.
sure that they're gonna make. I mean,
Oh
anything can still
yes,
happen. Okay, yeah, they're
we still
sitting
have that
currently
probability.
number two there at
Yeah,
the table, so it's looking pretty good for them.
meaning they'll have another six in their pocket. So
Yeah,
hey, well, I feel like this is the time. These smaller matches, not that they're small, but they're slightly easier
yeah,
games. They should have at least given them the time to sit out, rest, not rest per se, but strategize and be like, okay, in the next game, this one, their weakness is this and that. Most probably they'll face each other in the
yeah.
next game because right now they're going to face South Africa, and I don't think that's the time they're going to want to sit out Virat Kohli or the captain right now or to rotate the strike because they will need their maximum to maintain being at the top. Because as we see, Australia is creepy coming up. It's currently
Yeah.
number 4, if I'm not mistaken. New Zealand number 3. It's a sticky situation in the sense that New Zealand was at the top at one point. Now
Yeah.
they're currently number 3. It shows now the
Getting
ranking
tight.
is getting tighter, and that was the time they were supposed to rotate the strike. I mean to rotate the players to give them the rest. Because right now, if I hear that Rohit or Virat Kohli is injured, I won't be surprised as much as they are still fit and strong. But that fatigue, the moment it kicks in, definitely they're going to pull some muscles or get
Mm,
injured where elsewhere. But in the sense that, because what I've noticed based on the time when we're organizing the qualifiers, it's
yeah.
like when they say teams should rest, that's when they actually practice. So
There's
it's
no
like
really
there's no
rest.
really rest. They might have a rest maybe a day, but
That's
that's
when
not
you
enough.
do nothing.
Yes, that's when you do nothing, just relax, more strength and conditioning, trying to relax those muscles, see the physio. But
Yeah.
as somehow I feel based on so much thinking and the tension in the ground, you need more time to relax and rest other than just a day. So I feel like these guys are not given enough time. Maybe I don't know. There are fewer players around. They came with fewer players. I don't know, but this is the home ground. I'm sure they should have an advantage.
I mean,
But I don't know.
mm,
I feel like really, if each team gives each other a chance to see what they've done, like for example, for SA, as much as it wasn't really a choice because
yeah.
Timber was injured. They gave what's his name by the way?
Andile also came in. Andile Peshubayo
Yes,
playing his very first match.
exactly. And that other one who became the captain.
Lizard Williams.
Yeah, Lizard Williams. Check what he did as the captain, even though he was covering up. It was his first game ever since he came to India for these matches. He performed well. That means they need to give other people a chance as well. I'm sure there are others who haven't even played one single game. But if they're given
Yeah.
that chance and knowing that, okay, I can maximize in here, I need the stats. They all need the stats at the end of the day, as much as it's a team sport. But yeah, as much as I'm going off topic, but it's cool. Like what you had said about the rotation, I feel like they should continue doing that. It's in a way that going to strengthen their team because they'll have a
Yeah.
wider pool to choose from, unlike relying on the same people.
And
Yeah,
in their case, they haven't really like rotated as much. They've only
yeah.
changed like one, two players here and there.
hmm
And
And mostly those are bowlers. But I think in the other sense, the point that you have just reminded me is that they are seeing the people who are sitting out there, they are not really very compatible with the players in who are playing currently. Because we have seen
but why did they
v-
bring them with them if they're not compatible? If they're not World Cup material,
no,
why then select them to be part of the squad? If
because
that's what you mean to
yeah,
say.
yeah, true. That's a good point right there. Because if you have seen mostly the squads, it's either you're all rounder, you can bet, you're
Yeah,
good at betting, you're good at bowling.
bowling.
But what I've noticed mostly they might be having more of bowlers who are sitting outside compared to the betting. So you can't bring someone who's outside who's a bowler to come in and bet for Virat Kohli is an opener batsman.
Yeah,
So you need a pure better compared to the bowler or all-rounders. That's when you've noticed most of the all-rounders, those who can do both, they're put in the middle. They're able to anchor the team's problems right now, or they can be relied on compared to the tail enders who are mostly bowlers. So I guess in the sense that they're seeing that as much as we've been crucifying them for not rotating the strike. That's one thing I have thought about. Maybe the people who are outside, they
Yeah.
are not really compatible to take their place because they're feeling it's going to be harder because opening it's quite a tricky situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like yeah, maybe that could be the sense. Maybe I don't know, but yeah.
I feel like there is a lot to still talk about, you and I,
Mhm.
but this is a watch along, so we'll have to bring in more people
Oh
to
yes.
come and discuss the, the game in
Mhm.
deeper detail. So we'll see how that match ends. As it is right now, it is 55-3 in the second power play. So we'll see at the end of the day who's walking out of that one, victorious. But we know what
Yes.
happened in 2019. India have a point to prove, as well as in England,
Oh yes.
for knocking out
Mhm.
India in the 2019 edition of the World Cup. So we will be back right after this, and Tesman and Sunil will be giving you more details as it comes.
Thank you.
Well, hello and welcome. We're watching the watch along. Basically, it's a discussion on what's happening in the field of cricket, what's happening at the Kana Stadium in Lucknow. And I must tell you, the fans are dismayed, the batters have let them down, and finally, we can see a smiling Tasmin Granja who's been enjoying the Indian hospitality, but somehow I think she's not supporting Team India. And why is that so?
No, I don't think it's entirely a case of not supporting India. I just believe in keeping life a bit interesting, and you can't all have 100% of people all just supporting India. Where's the fun in that? I gotta be that one guy in the room that's out here causing a bit of conflict.
That reminds me that I shouldn't be giving you your next match ticket, which caused a little bit of a rift between us on that particular day. But my apologies, live on television. But
Definitely, sir.
so even
Definitely.
accepted that. So coming back, what went wrong?
I think India. Obviously, this is the first time they've been sent in to have a bat first. They've been chasing all along so far, thus far in the World Cup, and it. I wouldn't say it affects them entirely in the sense of how their match temperament would be, but it does affect you as a player in a sense that you have to pick a role. You have to pick a way of which you want to come at the game as. Are you still going to be the guys that come out and pounce? And you don't have a score in mind that you are currently chasing. But I think it's a case of you need to get to a stage where you set yourself a target and say, look, we're looking to score 400 today. Okay, fine. You want to score 400, but how are you going to go about scoring that 400 runs? So maybe a bit of a mental block for India today, having lost the toss up front and being sent in to have a bat first for the first time in this World Cup.
Well, from 400, you're coming down to what, 250, 260, 270? Did we ever expect India to do as badly? And that too, Rohit Sharma surviving a scare right now. Just what we watched.
Definitely. He just got a recall on an LBW call as well. And I've been bouncing a couple ideas around with a bunch of people here in studio today saying I would have rather England get rid of Virat Kohli at the start than Rohit Sharma because they're two different players.
Yes.
Rohit Sharma is an aggressor and he goes at it. That's his job. That's his main temperament. As opposed to Virat Kohli, who can play the aggressor as well as play the anchoring role for me as well. He's more of a dangerous man to have still in there as opposed of Rohit Sharma. Virat Kohli again is that type of player that can come out there and he's comfortable running the singles. He's comfortable pushing fielders, taking them on for twos, as opposed to Virat Kohli, who he just wants to, stick around. He's more than willing to get into a bowler's head and manipulate the field and do things like that. So Rohit Sharma currently in the position where he has to make a choice. We've seen just before the LBW call, he was trying to be the anchor, trying to hit the ones and twos and let everybody else play around him. Then he almost came out LBW. Lucky they took a review on it and he was safe. But if you find he's switched the dynamic of his game right now. Now he's looking to be the aggressor. He's gone back to playing his natural game. That is, put it in my zone and I'm going to go after you. If it's not coming to my zone, I'm willing to chase it and put it in my
But
zone.
what about when you're three wickets down? Do you think the chasing becomes easier or just like, I mean, you're 3 wickets down, you're an aggressor, but do you become judicious? Do you take your call or you just say,
It's two things. You can be aggressive, but you got to be aggressive and sensible. Because in your risk of taking a risk, it needs to pay off. Because when it doesn't pay off, there are 33 to 100 million fans waiting out there to tell you their opinion about it not paying off.
we still at 72 for 3, which is a good sign. Are you happy with the progress, Tasmin, that Indians have made a resurgence after the loss of 3 wickets?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, Rohit has got to a place where he's had to pick. He's got to pick. Is he the anchor or is the aggressor that's still anchoring?
But why are we talking in a very interviewish manner? I think the idea here is, are these, just make us understand, are these guys bowling up front or are they just bowling it short?
So definitely there's something the English have done brilliantly for me today. I've been sitting around saying, and as a captain, I think Joss Butler's made greater decisions today than he has so far in the World Cup, because all along we've seen him come out, power play's done, the field he's spread, he's told himself, I'm coming on with spinners. But spin bowlers, you can't entirely bowl spin to an Indian attack that is
Did they get
bred
any
on
wicket?
facing
Did the
spin.
spinner get wicket?
No, not at all. Sorry, all 3 wickets have actually come off a seam bowler. So today, something he's done a lot better for me today is keep a seamer on and a spinner on the other end.
That's interesting. That's an interesting observation because England, if you see, the bowling has been demolished on every count. Whether it's your bowling short, whether it's bowling into the rib cage, or just beating them with space. I mean, it's all missing. When you look at the stats, and we have the stats coming up on our screen shortly. That is it the air pollution in Delhi that is causing, or is it still the airport flu after 3 weeks?
I think it's the airport flu. Just it's become a
It's
bit
an
of cabin
overgrown
fever as well.
Can't we just agree that it's the overgrown airport flu which is on a vacation, and you seem to be getting it?
Oh yes, definitely. It just keeps passing through my airport.
Absolutely. That is the reason why you're still here and not in Bombay, waiting for your team to come in and play. And that
That's right.
reminds me, have they come here?
Yes, they have. They actually have arrived. They've been in now for 2 days.
Vaibhav, so what we're talking here is absolutely, I'm going to continue talking for the next 2 minutes because Tasmin is just got an arrest of vocal cords by the air pollution in Delhi, and Vaibhav is just going to get her some water. But in the meanwhile, what's the score right now? Let me just see. It's 73 for 3. Not bad, considering what they were reeling under pressure at some stage. And yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, so for me,
Come in,
definitely, the English bowlers have done a lot better. You know, we've had Chris on our show a couple of times
Yes.
throughout this week, and
We're talking about Christopher Mpofu.
well done.
I've got it right.
Yeah, well
Yo,
done.
bro.
Well done to you.
So, Mpofu is a name in Bulawayo where only few can get it right, and I can bet no Indian can get it right in the first because the M is silent, the P is interconnected. I don't know how it happened. This is not the English what we write. Pofu. is how it's
Yeah,
pronounced.
yes.
So I'm becoming more of Zulu and more of Shona and more of Dimbele. Dibele.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, all I need to do is just ride the horses and do some shooting in the wild and start
Definitely.
start
Definitely.
fishing
Yeah,
for
start
food.
fishing as well. I think you might just have your caveman dictionary down to a lock after that.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
absolutely. I'm
So-
happy with my Punjabi and Punjabi dictionary, which I must say, I must admit, the vocabulary is really nice with 7 expletives and 3 meaningful words.
Oh yeah.
That's what Punjabi speak in the North India.
Oh, brilliant.
Incidentally, Yuvraj Singh speaks the same language. Virat Kohli speaks the same language.
Ah,
You know
interesting
what it
fact.
means.
So
All
yeah,
of-
definitely for me, England, we spoke about it. We say that, they're a team with
Pitch it up.
nothing. They're nothing.
Pitch it
Yep,
up the
they're a team with
pitch.
nothing to lose at all today. So they've come out and they've bowled brilliantly for me. We've seen earlier on, Rohit Sharma actually left a ball that hit him just luckily slightly above the knee roll. That's all because up front at the top of the orders, you've had sim bowlers in the likes of Wiley as well as Wilkes swinging the ball away,
Right.
ball 5 and 6 swinging it back in. But then you have a switch up from Wilkes coming in. He's bowled ball 1 away. He's got an edge, hasn't carried to Joe Root. He's come back again. He's bowled ball 2 swinging in, as opposed to the premeditative mind thinking already of Rohit looking for that swinging in one between ball to 5. And we've said it. The more you pitch up the ball, the more you force the batsman to have to play at something, the more chances you
I
create.
think it's basic law of physics. You pitch it up, they go for the drive. If they connect, it's 6. If they don't, it's 4. If they're bad at it, they get it. They get out.
For example, I want to just cut apart Shubman Gill.
Yes.
So Shubman Gill's dismissal today, I had made an observation sitting and watching the game with a couple of people in the studio to say that, one, he doesn't look settled for me. He's going at it in a front foot defense, but 80% of the time he's got the ball coming out square to him, mid wicket,
Right.
square leg type of region. That will tell you that he hasn't gauged the swing of the ball coming back into him yet.
Yeah.
2 overs later, you have him opening a clear gap between bat and pad and getting bowled. Same thing again, Virat Kohli. I don't know, maybe you want to speak about the fact that he's got crowd pressure. He is a crowd pleaser for me.
Just saying.
He is out here.
Watch your words because the fans are going to get after you.
Definitely. He is about his fans at the end of the day. That is Virat Kohli. So maybe under pressure, a bit of pressure today. Maybe under a bit of pressure today, chasing a couple of records. We do know he's 100 away from reaching 49 ODI centuries as well, And he comes in, he's faced 6 dot balls in a row. What does he do? The next following over, 7th dot ball, and then he thinks to himself, look, I'm going to walk down the track and I'm going to hit it over the top. But it doesn't work because in Wilkes' mind, he's told himself, I'm not adjusting my length. I'm not changing anything. I'm just going to be boring, as boring and as boring and as boring as possible. And see, let him make the first move. And Kohli does. He makes the move and he gets caught out. It's the small things for me, at the end of the day. If it paid off, no one was going to criticize it. I speak from a player's perspective as well. If it pays off, no one talks about it. But it's when it doesn't pay off that everybody seems to have an opinion about why it didn't pay off.
Do you think India, we've discussed it. I think the problem with the Indian fans is that they have opinion about everything. What color of pad, gloves, everything.
And I don't just think it's India, it's just fans all over the world.
Absolutely. His brother has gone to watch the match, so I gather. And so is his coach, who's joined us and wants to watch the match. And there are 50,000 other people watching the match and 50 million others in the vicinity that he gets the voice text messages, and 5 billion from all across the world, because he's the highest, the most sought after social media celebrity in sports.
And that's because he's put his career out there. He's put his personal life out there on social media as well. So now your ranking, your rating in the public world, in the public eye, is definitely bound to go up. So you're definitely going to have more analysts analyzing your career as it goes on.
I just want to know, what did you have for breakfast in the morning? Is it the Indian, or are you still waiting for your food to the first?
I actually had an English breakfast this morning.
So your sausages, your ham, and your...
Oh, yes, definitely. I had some fresh chips and a couple of eggs and toast this morning.
Not bad for a Sunday morning brunch.
No, not at all.
I think your chef is having a field day, ensuring. How do you manage to keep your diet in control, and especially when you're just off sport? Have you joined a gym or something?
Yes, I am. I am back in gym. It's been great. I love the gym. I've recently found they don't get too packed, so I can spend all the time I want in there. I was actually in there for 3 hours yesterday until a couple of the guys that I live with actually called to ask if I'm still okay.
Absolutely, because that's what I was thinking. If you were to do the gym at my age and Lavjeet's age, you know what will happen? We do 3 hours of gymming, of course, but that's in a quarter, in 3 months, So that is the closest we go to the gym.
Yeah.
The other closest is that I park my car right outside the gym. So I feel this thing. But
see the sweaty people start sweating in the car. Visualize that you are one with them.
So you have the fittest player in the world of cricket actually sitting inside the dressing room, and you have
KL Rahul.
Rohit Sharma hitting another sweep for a boundary.
Yeah, you see, this is it for me. He tried to be the anchor. He tried to be the sensible guy that hits ones and twos. Go into Rohit Sharma's innings, dissect his innings. Predominantly, most of his runs come off boundary hitting. He doesn't run the ones and twos that Virat Kohli does. Right. Automatically, that will tell me he's match fit, but he's not superstar fit at the end of the day. That's Virat Kohli's job. Virat Kohli's job is to run the ones and twos and keep everybody else under pressure.
Do you want to name him, the pet that we have here?
Let's name him Amos, the mosquito.
I was thinking, let's name him as the umpire. The most hated umpire in the world is Steve Bucknor. For Indians, of course.
There we go.
So yeah, that was Steve Bucknor for you. Just trying to take the hell away. And we have Sonu in the house trying to get us the lunch.
Oh, Sonu, you are the guy.
Sonu? So, of course, nobody listens right now. They're all watching the match and savoring the boundary that Rohit Sharma has had. Again, coming on. This is what you're looking at the camera. We are in Delhi, not in Lucknow, trying to do our watch along for the first time. Can someone tell us the score? Our connection is off. 80. Not bad.
No, not at all. Definitely.
How many overs right now?
I'm about to get it up on my phone, hopefully.
20 overs, 80 runs. Are we going into the laga de? Are we going into the old wahan pe laga de khana? We are all hungry. Bolu ke live mein. So that's how it is.
81 runs for the loss of 3. So I wouldn't say again, I said this about New Zealand yesterday when they were getting absolutely pummeled. You had Australia sitting on 200 for the loss of nothing in 25 overs. This is cricket. This is 50 over cricket, and this is not T20.
I think we discussed it. It's humbler.
Oh
It
yes.
humbles you.
Oh yes. This is cricket, and you can't write off India just yet and say that
Ah,
this is gonna be their lowest score. This is what they're not gonna be able to get
not
to.
bad. This is good for us actually. But we can't, because of the broadcasting rights and everything, we can't do the commentary. But we can get people to enjoy, and Steve Bucknell did come in.
Yeah,
And
he's
it'll
still
help us
around.
if it'll help us if the live stream, if you can send it to your friends, mother, so we can get 5 more people added on.
Oh yes, definitely.
You have?
Yes,
Your
I
friend?
have.
तेरी
It's all
बीवी?
over my
खाना खिला दे भाई, भूख
Facebook
लग रही है.
pages as well as my Instagram pages as
Right
well.
now?
Yes, it is.
So they're listening to our conversation when we're talking about the food,
Everything.
your chef, the
Everything.
gym,
All of it,
Steve
sir.
Buckner, and the lunch.
He seems to have made an exit though. I hope we see him again.
I hope so.
Oh,
We'll see him.
that might be a
That's
cousin.
that is yeah, actually the younger cousin. And when you see at the first 10 overs, look at the run rate. We are going back into time at 1980s and 1990s, where 4 runs an average. Khilayega bhai khana. So sorry.
That's actually India's second lowest
No, what I just told him
power
was
play total.
what I just told him was India's greatest passion, which is food.
Oh yes.
You must savor it.
I think
So
that's
one
where
is
my
food.
Indian roots are very close to the surface. I
Absolutely.
love food, sir.
I know. So the food and cricket. I mean, if you give us both, we don't need anything else.
I'm pretty sure.
You've
That's
been here for
right.
3 weeks, you know that. What's your favorite Indian food, by the way?
I'm still adding up. I have a very sweet tooth. I think peta sitting at the top of my list.
Which one?
Peta.
Petha.
Yep, definitely
Panchi
sitting at the
Petha
top
Agra
of.
wala.
Oh yeah, it's sitting at the
It's the
top of my
biggest.
list.
I must tell you, that is the biggest scam in the history of modern day sweets makers.
I love it. I don't understand how it's made from pumpkin. Am I right?
Yes, actually.
But it tastes like candy floss. Like that is great. I intend on taking quite a bit of it home as well.
Yeah, you must take everything from there. I think it should be wiped away from our North India's menu card, because it is probably perhaps one of the worst sweet meat you would ever have.
Why would you say that?
It's pumpkin dripped in sugar syrup,
Yes,
and that's it.
but it tastes nothing like a pumpkin. Fine, we might as well cut it up and put it in our food and eat it as a vegetable. Then, if you want to keep naming it a pumpkin,
You must
it
try
tastes
something
beautiful.
called Tinda. We've got a great emporium mall of the vegetables across the street, and you must visit. I must tell you, your vocabulary will increase, your palate will increase,
Oh.
and your food intake will go down. I must promise you, because the
Ah,
kind of roads that you see and trip over,
yeah.
at the end of it, you won't like eating anything. I must promise you. But that's okay. We tried chola bhatura.
No, I do not think
Can
so.
we beep the stuff? Can we silence that stuff and give galis to people? You've been here, what, 3 weeks?
That's right.
And you haven't had chola bhatura.
Have I had it, Weber? I have. The first day. What does it look like? Describe it for me.
Google it. It's the most exciting thing. If I were to Google it, I'm going to stop everything and go there and eat it. So we don't risk that. But coming back, have we taken another I think we've got another wicket.
Oh, yes, that's right. That is Rohit. It looks like Rohit gone.
Is that true?
I'm gonna confirm
dekh
that
lo.
for you.
Well, dekh lo, if it's
That
on,
looks like
has
Rohit
gone?
gone. No, he has.
I think we're watching one of the two different streams. One is DSTV. What are you doing with DSTV? It's in South Africa.
I'm an African. DSTV's African network, the whole African network.
So you're watching it here?
Yes, you can stream live anywhere in the world, wherever you are, as long as you have an account.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Can we do that to our Geo account if we go outside India or Hotstar? Please give the numbers.
Because I can't stream Hotstar on any of my profiles because all of it is linked to Africa, Zimbabwe, my Google account, everything. So when I tried to download Hotstar when I got here, it wouldn't allow me. It said not allowed in your region. But DSTV, I've been to America, I've been to New Zealand. You can watch DSTV anywhere.
We'll do one thing. At the end of the subscribers and at the end of the comments, please put in all your links. Please put in all your stuff so that people who are watching it can actually enjoy more. Because I don't think so. The way Indians are batting, we're going to enjoy anything but that. It's only statistical delight. 81 runs, 3 wickets, 22 overs. I think the match is done and dusted for us. Thank God we didn't go there.
I know I'm not usually the biggest batter out in India's corner, but I don't think it's done. The longer Rohit stays out there and the closer, the moment where in England is probably gonna see things change for
See,
them.
listen, the longer we talk here, the more hungry I'm going to remain. And you're going to be abstaining from food. I don't think so. It's a great idea. I think that's what you've heard from us. This is the first test case kind of a thing that we are talking about. And we are purely talking about cricket and food. And these are two things that we want to talk about.
Definitely.
Nothing else. No politics. We have 18,000 runs and 180 kg, no, 180 grams of food lost to me is causing me a great damage right now. No, seriously. We've been way past our lunchtime. It's almost 4 o'clock. I can't concentrate on cricket. And please say thank you to the people out there. And
Thank
let's
you,
call it off.
everybody, for tuning in. This is Tasmin Granger and a very hangry Sunil Kara right now working
Chacha,
on.
khana kahan hai?
Yeah, no, we gotta get him fed, but we will definitely be back.
Chacha aake namaste bolna.
Before anything, so don't go away. Please, maybe if you're out there and you feeling a bit sorry for me, that's definitely enjoying this cricket match and would love to keep telling you more about it. Maybe send over some food for Mr. Sunil Kara here in the stadium.
On the
today.
numbers below, down below, please give us whatever. And your subscription ID for people to watch it for free.
Oh yes, definitely. That's
India.
right. That's right. So stay tuned to our channel. Stick with us.
You never
We
know,
got
you
the
may
rest
find
of
us.
this. Yeah, we got the
Whenever.
rest of this World Cup out here for
We're
you.
not getting paid for it, but you will still find us here.
Oh yes, we love cricket and we love food.
Time for food. I'm done. I'm done. भूख लगी है सर ठीक था